BlxckMonopoly presents Dope Dialogue. What's good? You're not tuning in to Dope Dialogue presented by BlxckMonopoly. Today we got on Caryn Wright. What's up? How you feeling?
I feel great. How are you?
Nice. I'm great too.
That's good.
Let's jump right into it.
Okay.
So let's get the listeners, a little bit about where you're from.
So I am originally from Staten Island. I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina when I was 13. And then I moved out here about 4 years ago to LA.
Smooth. What brought you out to LA?
Like everybody else, I just wanted to chase my dreams to work in the music industry. And I felt like I couldn't do it in Charlotte because there's like too many gatekeepers in Charlotte. So I was like, let me just go to LA and let me go for it.
Got you. So like, what was your dream? Like, did you have a set vision before you came out here, or were you just like, all right, I just want to work in the music industry?
I wanted to work in PR. So when I went to college at Virginia State. And then after I graduated, I went to Syracuse University. And then after that, I went back to New York, and like New York was like really dollar in a dream. Like I didn't go to New York with any money. Because I lived with my old neighbors who were just like, okay, cool. Like you can stay here, until like you get on your feet. And I was just really, really broke at the time. So I gave it like 6 months and I went back to Charlotte and I just like regrouped. And, once I regrouped, I told myself I wanted to save like $10,000. And I wanted to work in a place where like I could laugh or have fun because I didn't want to be behind a desk like regretting it. So when I got out there, I worked at a comedy club and I worked at a juice bar and I just kept on grinding. I saved $10,000. I didn't really tell my family about it until 30 days before, and then 60 days before, and then I moved out. And I went to LA.
What made you hold out on telling your family?
Because I didn't want them to talk me out of it. And I didn't want them to project their fears onto me. Because you know how parents are. They'll be like, well, like, you don't have enough money. You don't have this or you don't have that. I just wanted to make sure all my ducks were in a row before I told them. Got
you. So now that you out here, how long have you been out here, by the way?
I've been out here for 4 years.
Cool. Yeah. And is your vision still the same? Like, do you still want to work in PR or has it changed?
It's changed a lot. So when I got out here, I interned for AKW PR, which is Aisha White's PR company. She is I don't know if she's still a publicist for Ty Dolla $ign's, but now she works at Warner. But she was Ty Dolla $ign's publicist. And she just taught me the ropes, but once I started getting into it, I was like, this ain't for me. I don't really like it. I like more of being a creative and listening to the music and not trying to figure out how to, like, it's cool being PR, but it's like you have to not really spin the story, but you have to make people excited. And I just wanted people to be excited about music without trying to convince them.
Gotcha. So, yeah. So then how did you first get your foot, wet into the industry? Because, a lot of people do move out here for the same reason, the same goal, but don't actually get into it. So what was your journey into it? Like, what was the beginning and how did it grow?
Gotcha. So while I was at Virginia State, I would go to New York, like instead of going on spring break in like Miami or like Virginia Beach, I would always go back to Staten Island. But I would hit up people on LinkedIn and I would say like, I would email probably like 10 people a day and just be like, hey, my name is Caryn. I'm really interested in the music industry, specifically like music PR. Do you think we can sit down and have coffee? And like, there'll be a few people, because when emailing, you're just like, somebody's going to answer. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to look at this. They're either going to answer or they're going to ignore it. And some people did answer. So like I got in contact with this guy called Caryn Wright, and he worked at Revolt Music, and I went to his office and we hung out. And then he introduced me to Whitney Gail Benta, who now works at Spotify. And she's dope because she's a Sora, Delta Sigma Theta. And she introduced me to her mentee, Dana Jeter. And I kept in touch with Dana. And like, I think when I got out here, I was out here for like 5-6 months or something like that. And I was down to like my last $800, and I had to pay like, I had to pay my rent. And I was just like, something got to shake, like something got to happen.
For real.
So I remember parking my car to go to work at the Dolby Theater. And I got a text like, yo, you still looking for a job? And I was like, hell yeah, like, what's good? And she was like, just send me your resume. So I sent her my resume, and then like a couple of days later, I got a call from Tam, who works with RZA, and then Tam was like, meet me at my house. So I met her at her house. I interviewed. She was like, I like you because you're black. I was like, bet. And then she's black too. And then she was like, yeah, you got it. Just meet Bobby. And so I met Bobby. And he was like, where are you from? I said, Staten Island. He was like, no fucking way. And I was like, yes, fucking way. And he was like, okay, cool. And then they brought me on. So that was like my first like step into the music industry. It was working for RZA from Wu-Tang.
That's pretty dope. That's like the universe connecting.
Yeah, because I always like, when you're manifesting, like you're not really specific in your manifestations when you first started. So my thing was like, I wanted to work with a hip hop legend, and it just happened to be somebody from my same hometown. So it was special.
Got you.
Yeah.
So what did you do in that role?
I was his assistant. I was making sure his life was running good. I was booking him flights, and that turned into like helping out Wu, book their flights for tours and stuff like that, and just making sure everything as far as the company ran straight and his life ran straight.
Got you. So like, what things are they looking for on a resume to be an assistant for an artist or just somebody in general?
Somebody that's organized, somebody that pays attention to detail, somebody that takes the initiative, because you don't want people always telling you what to do. You want to already be 10 steps ahead. So if you know that if you're looking on the calendar and you see that he has a show in London on 2 weeks from now, it's just like, well, just get your stuff in order to book it, because you don't want to wait till the last minute to do it.
And you got to proactively like be understand and know what they like and expect and plan that too.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
So what was like, give 3 things you learned from that experience. I know it's like a whole lot more you can like, share, but what's 3 things you could share from that, help you grow the most out of that?
I can only control the things that I can control. Another thing is I knew a lot about myself. Like I was just learning more about myself while I was in that role, of just things that I wanted to do and just things that I didn't want to do. I learned that I was creative because like most of my ideas, they would come into fruition and other people agreed with them.
Like, could you give an example of like how your ideas would come to fruition?
I wanted to do like when they had the 25th anniversary for 36 Chambers. I wanted to do like an ice cream truck with different flavors for different members. So like when they did have one party, they already had like the ice cream truck. So I knew I was already on to something. And then I think my last thing would just be like, I don't know, like, I'm great at what I do. Like, nobody can tell me, like, I'm not, like, who I am. But, like, learning how to be secure with myself and just, like, knowing that the work that I put in is, like, people do see it. Gotcha. So, like, don't ever try to dim your light for yourself. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure. So, being an assistant to a legend, was what got your, your feet wet and immersed you into this industry. And now you grew to being an A&R.
Yeah, but it didn't really happen like automatically like
sure.
A&R.
So let's get into that. Like, what was in between? Like, because you knew you outgrew that position and you had greater aspirations, but you didn't know what direction to take. So how did you connect that dot?
Yeah, hold on.
I'm gonna take a sip too.
So like before the pandemic, I already like December of 2019, I knew I just felt it that I wasn't going to stay that long. Like this was going to be my last year. I felt like Magic Johnson, like I'm not going to be here. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just feel it. And like people, like I was talking to my parents about it and they were just like, stay. And I was like, no, because like I just felt like I wasn't happy. I was low-key depressed. Every time I looked in the mirror, I didn't really recognize myself. I just felt like I was in a dark place and I needed to get out before it was like too late. So kind of like the opportunity presented itself, like we have to let you go. It's like you want to quit. And I was just like, okay, cool. So on my way home, I'm talking to my friend Lisi and I see a license plate number that says 111. And then I see the clock at 111 and I was like, oh, I'm straight. Like everything's going to be good. But being an assistant, you don't realize that you're on schedule and you have to like break out of some stuff. Like I didn't realize for 2 years that I literally woke up around 10 o'clock in the morning. I would talk to this guy, be like, peace, Bobby, what's good? And then just go down his schedule every day for 2 years. So I had to break myself out of that. And then I just told myself, because when I moved out here, I felt like I put myself in a depression a little because like I was so hard on myself trying to find a job, not realizing like things just happen. Like you got to just take it day by day instead of worrying about like what's years to come. So that was my thing. It's like, I'm gonna just take it day by day. So I literally woke up out of bed. I got out of bed. I went on Twitter and I saw that LVRN was looking for interns. And then I just signed up. I was like, do I really want to be a 27-year-old intern? It's just like, fuck it. Like, I got to do what I got to do. And like LVRN, they just had like different workshops for interns. Let me just see what they got. And I would just like go to all the workshops virtually and just be a part of everything because I'm like, I just want to learn. And like during that time, I'm not only doing like LVRN workshops, like I'm attending like workshops with like human resources. And they have like pink sweats and stuff. And I'm just trying to soak as much game up in the pandemic because I'm like, I need to learn as much as I can about what's going on in the music industry.
Got you.
Yeah.
And then that led to growing into the position you're in now.
Yeah, kind of. That like led to, so me going to all these workshops was like, okay, like we see you, like we need somebody back at the studio. So then I'm working like at the studio and I'm just taking it day by day again. Just being an asset in every room that I walk into and just like, no, like my time is going to come. Just like take it day by day. And that turned into like, okay, like we need you to go here. Like it was just like, I did that from June until I want to say October, working every day at the studio and just grinding. Like I didn't even have like weekends off. Like I would just work 7 days straight.
And how'd you feel through like that process? 'Cause I know a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people probably be like, yo, I'm 27. Why am I going to intern for nobody? Mm-hmm. How did you feel throughout that process? Like, did you do it with your heart into it, or did you just grind through it like, all right, I'm just going to do this? And
I think it's a little bit of both. It's just like, this is bigger than you. Like, this is what you wanted. Like, you wanted to be with a company that, like, young, Black, making a difference in the music industry, and be with artists that you actually, like, really fuck with. So, to me, it was just like, grind it out. Like, this is what you wanted. Like, you got to put the work in. And then in that time, it's like I'm learning how to engineer too, because like, let's say if the engineer is running late, I can always set up the session for the artist. So like, we're not losing out on money or time, because time is valuable.
Got you. So continuing to make yourself an asset always.
Yeah, definitely.
Got you. So it sounds like you either know your purpose or your soul just knows it, and it continues to just make you power through this, because it is a sacrifice. Like, you're away from family, you're away from your loved ones, you're away from what you actually want to just have downtime.
Yeah.
So it's like you just power through it because you know you're going to something bigger.
Yeah, that's like, I keep on telling myself, like, yo, like, you're meant for I always knew that I was meant for something bigger than just being here. And like, if this is what I gotta do, I gotta do. And I understand, like, I've missed out on weddings, like I missed out on birthdays, I missed out on a lot of stuff, but some things you gotta sacrifice for yourself. And like, once that success does come, then I can like I can make the time for the people that I love. But right now I just gotta make that time for me, because I don't want to ever wonder what if. After that, it was just like, people started like picking up, like execs started to like really like know me, because it's just like, damn, like she here all the time.
For real.
So then that turned into like, oh, we need you to do this, we need you to do that. And it's just like, shit, okay, cool. Because of that, they brought me on full time as A&R admin.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So this whole journey, you had ups and downs, you learned a whole lot about yourself, push yourself past your limits, and you have a whole lot more to go. Like you, just speaking to you, I could already tell like you have a bigger vision. So, what is part of that vision that you see? 'Cause I know like we can't see everything.
Yeah,
but, like, what's next? What do you want to do next?
Honestly, the overall goal is to be a music mogul, to be up there with the Barry Gordy's, the Jay-Z's, the Dame Dashes, the Diddy's, like, just be like a female music mogul that actually like really puts on and fights for the artist, but makes timeless music on top of that. And figuring out how to do that.
Smooth.
So yeah.
See, we got it here. We documenting it here. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's
definitely. Definitely.
And we're gonna go back to this clip and be like, see,
called
it out.
They're gonna play this at the Grammys.
For sure. And you also have like one of your endeavors is rhythm and blunts.
Yeah.
Can you speak about that a little bit?
Yeah. So my favorite thing to do is smoke weed and talk shit with my friends. So that's how Rhythm and Blunts came about. I was in New York. I was in Staten Island. And like, we would just go on the side of my friend's house, Michael, and smoke with Steve and this kid, Mark. And we would just play music like past the aux. So like, I was like, yo, I'm going to make a playlist, but it's just something that you can smoke to. But I kind of use it as like, I want to say not really like a diary, but like an emotional gauger of like, if you listen to the songs, like, it reminds you that you're the shit too. Because when I was working as an assistant, I felt like I was losing myself. I didn't really feel like listening to music. And in order to find myself, I would just play songs back. And I created Rhythm and Blunts to remind me that it's okay. Like, it's only temporary that you feel like this. So it's for people to remind them that they're the shit. But also it's something to smoke to as well.
Got you. So right now, for now, it's a playlist, and it's like, how would you describe it? Like, because aside from being a playlist, you also make it an event.
Yeah. So like, I curated an event before COVID happened, and Busy was there.
For sure.
But it was just basically like putting people that didn't necessarily know each other in a room and make it like a little networking event, so that they could eventually like work with each other and just like feed off of each other's energy. But also as artists and producers, you're always in your head that like, man, people don't really like this, or like you're so like stuck on, man, should I put this out or shouldn't I put this out? And it's just like, nigga, just put the shit out.
For real.
Because somebody's gonna like it, and you just get that instant feedback of like, oh, this shit is hot, like in a room with people that you don't know. So it's not people just saying it just to say it. It's just like really genuine.
Got you. So is there a vision for Rhythm and Blunts past this? Like, what do you see for it in the future? What do you want to build it to? What are you going to build it to?
I'm going to build it into a speakeasy. I want to open up a speakeasy that's like bongs, like a bong cleaner. But you walk into like this club because like, well, first of all, nobody likes cleaning fucking bongs because it's just like they get dirty too easily and like you never really get them clean. So I figure like it could be like a bong cleaner shop, and then, or a glass cleaner shop, and then you walk into like this door or something and it opens up to a speakeasy where it's just like a really intimate setting of just people, members only, that sit down, smoke weed, eat food, but also like your favorite artist can drop in anytime. You just don't know when.
Smooth.
Yeah.
And that's pretty dope. We cover a lot of ground here. Is there anything else that you want to touch on or mention or speak about? Or?
I don't know. Is there anything you want to ask?
And so for artists, I do have one question too, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are artists are interested in what's the process of how they link up and get picked up by a label, and what's the A&R's role in that?
It's many different ways to be sought out by A&Rs. Now it's internet. Before it was like talent shows and showcases. You just got to be visible, in the sense. Like, we're not really looking for people. Well, personally, I'm not really looking for people who has millions or thousands of followers. I just want somebody who makes great music and just stands out and makes me interested in what they're listening to. It's like I'm not really trying to listen to the same shit or like the same flow all the time. I'm trying to listen to somebody who cuts through the noise.
Got you. And how much would you say personality plays into that? Like, is that hand in hand or is that something separate? Like, could an artist be great at what they do but just lack that personality and still be picked up and just have a team built around them to enhance it? Or is it kind of like they just have to have that energy about them?
It depends. It depends. Like, it's good to have personality, but it's great to have personality and knowing what you want to be as an artist. But I feel like that's when artist development comes in, and you just got to be open about it. If you're an artist and you just lack the personality part, it's just like, are you open to like grow? Are you open to taking time and just investing in yourself and just going through artist development? That can separate you from being from good to great, instead of us just throwing you out there and being like, oh, are you gonna sink or swim? You know what I mean?
Got you. So before we skate out, what's one gem, what's one valuable piece of information you give to anybody, like regardless of gender, race, age? Like, what's one universal thing you'll just leave people with?
Andre Harrell said, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but you're always going to have better days. So I just keep on telling myself that, like, take it day by day, but you're always going to have better days. Like, today might suck for you, but tomorrow you might win the lottery or just do something really great. But yeah.
For sure. So hit people with where they could find you, like your social media, website, anything.
My Instagram is Caryn _Wright, CARYN _WRIGHT.
Smooth. That's it. Just your IG.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah. I don't really like to give out too much info, but that's where you can find me.
So for sure. So thanks for giving your time, your energy,
problem.
being present.
No problem.
Because you shared a lot of gems for sure.
Thank you. Always.
No doubt. For sure. And with that, dope dialogue, BlxckMonopoly, we out.
Ew.